carnivores up here in Alaska, and it's kind of a good place to be a carnivore considering we like to hunt and fish. The family likes to go out hunting and fishing, and they typically bring back the meat. Now we fill our freezers every year with all kinds of random foods, from wild fish to moose to caribou, reindeer sausages, all kinds of stuff. It just makes it a whole lot more fun. And we just recently had Easter. And the one thing I love about Easter is it, especially in my childhood, it was the only time in my life where I actually had a lot of hard boiled eggs. I was so happy at Easter time, not necessarily to have them colored or do anything fancy with them. It's because my family didn't normally make hard boiled eggs as a general rule. And I loved them. I absolutely loved them. I thought they were just amazing. I loved deviled eggs. I loved hard boiled eggs. I love eggs pretty much any way that you can make them or create them. And what I do after the holiday is my children don't like hard boiled eggs as much as I do. So it just makes for a perfect opportunity to get the eggs out. I got them all pre-cracked in here and they're soaking. And I do this for a reason, to hopefully loosen up the membrane from the shell. And it makes it, so far, it has made it a lot easier to peel. I've gotten several of them already put away in the pickle jar. So yeah, we're just gonna double duty these. If I'm not gonna eat all of these eggs right now, why not shell them and put them in pickle juice? And there you go. You're gonna have a great snack for later. And it's just one of the many things that I like to do up here because it's Alaska, it's springtime, we're in between seasons, and it's kind of slow right now. But it has snowed outside today. Last night it was snowing all night long, and I'll be out, not plowing snow, I'll be hauling snow at 8 o'clock tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, another goofy thing I felt, might be interesting is these are my old Carhartt bibs. Now, if anybody's known me in years past, this is the only clothes I would actually wear because I was so fat. I was so morbidly obese that I couldn't really comfortably sit in pants. I couldn't wear, regular button-up type shirts or anything like that because my neck was so big, the collar would just choke me. Now, regular t-shirts would choke me as well. So I had to buy these big, giant, triple to 4X large t-shirts, and they feel like a blanket. Those things are super heavy. Now, this shirt here that I have on right now, this thing did not fit me 46 weeks ago. I could not put this shirt on. And if I did, I looked like an overstuffed jumbo doll. It was kind of embarrassing. Now, last night I did have the opportunity to talk with Todd at Carnivore Cure. And we did, yuck it up quite a bit on the phone last night. And we were talking about all kinds of, embarrassing issues and just, sharing our basic struggles up to this point because, losing weight, being morbidly obese is extremely tough for many people. It was hard for us too. There was a lot of situations where things were just incredibly, can I be a mod? No, I don't just add random mods. I appreciate the question there, Rose, John Fairway. I like your stream. I appreciate you there too. But today I'm just talking about how we can use, better use things that we have from Easter time. I mean, we got all these eggs. I might as well pickle the eggs, and it just makes a lot of sense, to put what we have already and not waste the eggs because there's so much nutrition in eggs. I mean, I never knew this until I started the carnivore diet and I started looking into basic nutritional values of certain things and I started reading ingredients. I mean, I was just blown away. I couldn't believe it. Now, I don't particularly like the white eggs anymore because for one, they're incredibly hard to peel. Two, they don't have near the nutritional value of the dark brown eggs. Now, the yolks in the dark brown eggs just seem so much better. So I'm going to peel a few of these. Now, like I said, I am wearing these Carhartts, and I wanted to show people something and see if I can get a decent camera angle. But since I started losing all the weight, I mean, I could fit an entire leg, another leg down inside this. I mean, there's so much room in here. It's just ridiculous. They're super comfy because they're loose. But I mean, this was literally the space that I had filled up right here. I had this much body 46 weeks ago. And I just thought it'd be fun to wear these again because I haven't put them on a whole lot since I lost all the weight. For one, they're dangerous. They're really uncomfortable to wear. Now, another thing that me and Todd discussed is neither one of us, we could never button these two side buttons right here. these buttons were always undone because we had this big jelly roll sticking out the side. And then, you know, we were that much wider. But another funny thing we were talking about is how the crotch on these. So I'm a very tall guy. I'm 6'3". Now it seems like the taller you are, and then when you're trying to get these Carhartts, the lower the crotch gets. So, you know, I had these suspenders. They were stretched all the way out, but the crotch on these Carhartts tend to hang down. You know, when you're really fat, they tend to hang down close to your knees. So trying to, you know, lift your leg up to get into anything. I hope somebody's laughing here because this looks absolutely ridiculous, and I'm okay with looking ridiculous because I'm just proud that I've lost over 130 pounds in 46 weeks. And I'm super happy. And that's another reason we're doing this live stream today, is because I don't believe I'm going to be able to get that weight loss update in for this weekend, because we'll be working all night. If I can get it filmed, I'm going to try to get it filmed. And hopefully we can just go from there. Let's see. Who else we got in here? Hi all, BK. Hey, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you. So yeah, we're going to try to peel some of these eggs. Like I said, I got them soaking in the water. So the membrane will hopefully release a little bit better. Because if you try to peel them straight out of the fridge, they don't peel like this at all. And you're just fighting every little tiny piece. And this is just plain water. And these are, you know, Easter eggs that we had, and the kids went out and they did their Easter egg hunt, and they had a lot of fun. They got super candied up. That's what happens on Easter. And of course, since one of them got into a lot of candy, usually what comes right after Easter or any major holiday where there's a lot of sweets and stuff is you get a kid that's, you know, kind of sick for a little while. So she's doing well. She's in the other room enjoying, I believe she's watching like Harry Potter movies or something right now. I'd have to go double check on her, but she's feeling pretty good. So that was super easy to peel, and now we're gonna kerplunk it into the pickle juice, and it's gonna be a better snack later. So not only did we, you know, save some Easter treats, and these are really useful. And that one's not gonna peel right because I damaged it when I cracked it. So, but like I said, if these just sit in the fridge and nobody does anything with them, nobody eats them, they're just going to go bad. We're going to throw them away. Why throw away, you know, really healthy eggs into the garbage if you don't have to? I mean, worst case scenario, you peel them and you feed them to one of the family pets, you know, if you feel like they've been in there too long. But I don't like throwing away eggs because I never really had many hard-boiled eggs when I was a child. So around Easter time, like I said, it was a blessing to have Easter eggs because my mom just never really cooked a whole lot of boiled eggs. Once in a while, on like Thanksgiving or Christmas, we might have some, you know, deviled eggs or something like that. But it just seemed like it was so rare. So as an adult, I just relish in the Easter holiday, especially when we have a lot of hard-boiled eggs that nobody wants. It's like, wow, that's great. This one didn't peel so great. But, you know, that's just part of when you buy the white eggs, but it will still taste amazing in the pickle juice. And we just leave them in the pickle juice for about 7 days, and then you can start snacking on them, and you have a super healthy snack, ketosis friendly type snack, as long as you don't add a bunch of sugar into your pickle juice. Yeah, you got a win-win situation there. One of the other types of pickle juice I like to use is that from dill pickles, because there's usually no additives in there, you know, except for a couple spices or that. There's no sugar in it, so it works really well for anybody that's on a ketogenic type diet. And that's kind of where I try to stay these days, is if I'm not completely 100% carnivore, I do try to keep it keto friendly, because, you know, we're all trying to get healthier, we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to stay away from all the overly processed foods in the store, you know, the stuff that created us to be, you know, up to 400 something pounds. That's another thing, is when we try to, you know, before we even started losing weight, a lot of us, we didn't realize, and it's really hard to explain, especially if you've never been morbidly obese, you've never been fat before. It's hard to fathom, like, hey, how did you get, like me, how did I get up to 435 pounds? It comes on in a weird way. A lot of it is emotional. And when we're emotionally damaged, we tend to eat more. We tend to eat a lot more unhealthy foods. Sugary foods, a lot of carbohydrates tend to make us feel better, and then we don't realize, how much weight we're actually putting on, and then all of a sudden it's just one day you might get a diagnosis, or you might actually get on a scale, and it's like, wow, I'm really that heavy, and part of my situation was, and a lot of others that were morbidly obese, is that we didn't want to live anymore. We got to a point where, like, just take us away. We're done. We don't want to be here. And then all of a sudden we kind of figured it out. A light bulb, came on. And a lot of us, we started doing stuff like fasting. And then we did like a keto diet. And then we moved on to KetoVore. And then eventually, it moves on to even further, which is carnivore. And as we start doing carnivore, we start to figure out all these different things about our bodies, stuff we never imagined could be possible, because when you're morbidly obese, you're just constantly in pain. I mean, it's like you know what to do, but you don't know how to do it. You don't have anybody to help you or help explain, just that your situation does suck. And we get that. And that's what we're all out here to try to do, is help other people that are in crappy situations like ourselves. There's hope. You don't have to be all by yourself. I mean, this is what we talk about every week, is we're just out here trying to share our journeys, trying to share just how miserable we were and how we got, to be a little bit healthier. And now I'm fully functional. I mean, I'm still around 300 pounds, but I can fully function at all of my jobs. I can bend down and touch my toes now. That's something I couldn't do 46 weeks ago. I mean, just walking up a flight of stairs was scary. Taking a shower was scary. Neuropathy is a real thing when you're morbidly obese. You can't feel your feet. And until you start really getting the weight off, you might not even recognize that you have neuropathy. You might just think it's, oh, I'm morbidly obese. I'm 400 pounds and my feet just hurt because I'm fat and heavy. Well, that was me too. That's what I thought. But once I started getting that first 100 pounds off, I started noticing, the water weight's getting under control. My edema was getting under control. And then all of a sudden, I started noticing all different types of pains in my body going away as the weight was coming off. My entire body, from my feet all the way up to my neck, everything was readjusting, and it took some time. It was painful at times because your back is not used to not having all that extra weight on your back. And what a blessing it is when everything finally realigns. I mean, all the way down to your feet, like the tendons in your feet, your toes, everything just starts magically coming back to normal. And it's so hard to imagine that that's even possible, especially when you're just laying there suffering. I wish I had a guy like me at that time, out here on the internet. Just YouTube never seemed to recommend anything like that to me. But then again, it usually recommends me stuff that I'm searching, just like the rest of you out there. Whatever you're searching on the internet is typically what YouTube's going to recommend. But if somebody like me, or Todd from Carnivore Cure, or Limitless Lindy, or Michael, if somebody like that were to have just popped up on my screen and they started talking about their journey, in detail, like, hey, how did you lose the weight? How did you get, from, let's say, 700 pounds to maybe down to 400 pounds? That's a huge weight loss anyways. We got people out here like Bill Knott, lives out here in Willow, Alaska. He's doing amazing. He's lost a ton of weight, but he's an inspiration, like a lot of us, to these people that are suffering so hard, and we just can't, some of us, we couldn't find a solution before we actually got started. But once we got started and we actually got something going, everything just starts happening, and it happens so fast. It gives us temporary amnesia at times. And this is something else that I like to bring up to my friends that are in the carnivore community, especially the big guys like me that have lost a lot of weight, is we need to go back. We need not to lose, those memories of where we were. We need to relate that to those people that are out there that they're sitting at home right now, possibly watching us, and they're sitting in that easy chair. They're suffering. They don't understand that it's possible to lose the weight, that it's possible to get rid of all the sugars and carbs. It just takes a little work. It takes a little time. And that's usually where we lose people, is when we say, well, yeah, it takes a little bit of effort. But in my case, I did it with little to no effort. And it was just figuring out why I was eating all the time. A lot of it was emotional aspects, because we eat for several different reasons. We eat because we're sad. We eat because we're happy. We eat because it's a celebration. We eat because we're hungry. And 90% of the time, it's an emotional aspect. So if we figure out why we're eating, it's a whole lot easier to recognize these situations, when it comes time to eat. But seriously, getting the carbs and all the sugary stuff out for an extended period of time was a winner for me. I mean, it really helped. It also helped me identify some issues I didn't even know I had, because since I started doing this 46 weeks ago, I found out that there were a lot of things that improved that I didn't have any idea would improve just by getting rid of carbs. Because carbs and sugar, it just, too much of it just damages us. It screws us up to holy high heck. Oh, I got a good one here. This one's peeling like it should. I like this. I like it when you can just pull a little piece and it just rolls right off. It's so much fun. But I'm not a big fan of the dyed eggs, not a big fan of food colorings anymore, especially after I learned that 90% of food colorings out there are made out of petroleum products, and it's typically not a good idea to be eating them. Yeah, I don't know how many foods that I used to eat, with food coloring, cakes, cupcakes and stuff like that, snacks, ice cream, for instance. How much of that stuff did we eat before? They had a whole bunch of overly processed food colorings in there. And most of the time, the food coloring, it's not even food. It's just somewhat safe to eat. It's in that category of somewhat safe to eat. Because our Food and Drug Administration, for some reason, thinks it's okay to have a little bit of poison. Just don't have too much poison. But you can have a little bit of poison and be just fine. I mean, okay, if it's poison and it's not good for us, why are we allowing it? Why do we allow it in our kitchen, in our homes? I mean, stuff like vanilla extract, like the cheap vanilla extract, the fake stuff, the artificial vanilla. That's not good for us. That's not even vanilla. That's horrible. Yay! I got one peel going in there. Now, that's going to be an awesome treat 7 days from now. The longer you can pickle your eggs for, the better they're going to be. It's just human nature. It's awesome stuff. All right. Let's see, what do we got? Amber is in here. Hey, Amber, I appreciate you showing up. TC, I did no bread, no potatoes, and I love to make homemade biscuits. Now that's hard. Yeah, I agree. I love bread. I used to love bread, but once I got it out for a while, I've been so much happier. I have looked into sourdough. My wife picked up some sourdough starter at the store. It wasn't very, very expensive, but sourdough is one of the better options, if you just have to have bread. Now, another bread option I was using when I was doing keto, it was pretty expensive, but since you're doing keto anyways, you're in a habit of not eating quite as much. It's a product you usually find in the freezer aisle of most grocery stores. It's called Ezekiel bread. Now, Ezekiel bread is a live spent grain bread, and that's a lot of the difference right there. And I was using that, and I was losing weight with Ezekiel bread. And that, granted, Ezekiel bread is not on the carnivore plane, but it's still an important topic to talk about, because not everybody is going to be doing carnivore, let alone not everybody that's doing carnivore is going to be doing 100% carnivore. And they're going to be tempted to get bread once in a while. They're going to be tempted to do a lot of things. That's why it's nice to find keto-friendly type workarounds, for when those cravings should happen or when those situations should happen, because one of my favorite things my wife used to do for me was make me a sandwich. I mean, if I was going to have her make me a sandwich now, I mean, it's all complicated, because I eat, 98% meats and fats now, and about 2% maybe will be a little bit of sauce here and there, like a little bit of hot sauce or something that's not exactly carnivore. But I do try to keep more and more carnivore every week, and it's getting easier as we go. I did unfortunately get into some of the cheese this week, and that's a hard one. Several carnivores out here have talked about, cheese addiction and stuff like that. Cheese really slows down the weight loss. Now, it is on the carnivore plane, but it will slow things down. It'll stunt your weight loss. In some cases, you might actually reverse weight loss for a period of time, because I believe it might. There we go. I'm choking again. But I believe it might actually, it could potentially promote some water retention. And water retention, that's the quickest number you'll see on a scale. So let's say I weighed in today at 300 pounds, and then all of a sudden tomorrow I'm like 308 pounds. So chances are that extra 8 pounds that came on, that's all going to be water weight. That's not going to be fat. I mean, it takes a while to put on fat. We didn't put on, 435 pounds overnight. It just doesn't happen like that. That's not how fat works. You just don't gain 10 pounds of fat, because you ate an entire pizza. You gain 10 pounds of fat because you ate an entire pizza several times throughout the week. You ate a bunch of sugary snacks. Your coffee sucks in the morning. It's potentially poison. So, we have to consider all that because our weight gain didn't come overnight, and it never has come overnight. I probably should have thought this out a little bit better because now my hands are kind of getting wet. And if I should want to do anything on the phone, it's going to be near impossible. But yeah, trying to go no bread is a hard one. It took me, I'm thinking, a good month and a half to get completely away from the breads. And that was before I was doing carnivore. So I was just struggling every week, just trying to stay keto friendly. I was doing a lot of fasting, 24-hour fasting when I got started losing weight. And that really helped. Learning how to fast was the most important aspect to my weight loss, and it still is because I use fasting techniques a lot. I also learned that you can do fasting mimicking is something they're talking about now, but it was something I was already using, which is diets where you can actually eat foods and mimic the fasting process. So like a 5-day egg fast, for instance, that's a fasting mimicking diet. A 5-day sardine fast is the same because it keeps your body in ketosis, but it's also giving us the sensation that we're eating something, plus providing us tons of nutrition. Either eating eggs for the entire week or eating nothing but sardines for the entire week. And it's super beneficial. It works. It works fast. You want to lose weight really fast and still eat some food. An egg fast or a sardine fast is super powerful. I mean, people hear sardine fast and they're like, oh, that's, dude, ew, slimy little fish. But once you start doing keto and you start fasting, you notice immediately your taste buds change. You also notice your sense of smell comes back. And I really wanted to find out if somebody that had the COVID side effect of losing their smell. I mean, I haven't been able to locate one yet that can legitimately say they regained their sense of smell through fasting, or let alone wanted to even try. But I did, for a little while there was a lot of complaints that people that had long COVID or COVID were losing their sense of smell. And I was really curious to find out, like, hey, I wonder if they did like a 5-day water fast, if their sense of smell would recover or at least slightly return. That would be super interesting to find out. So if any of you out there have long COVID, lost your sense of smell, I mean, I would love to hear from you, especially if you do an extended fast, like a 5-day water fast. And I'm not even sure if you have to do the 5-day water fast. You could do like a 5-day egg fast or a 5-day sardine fast, something keto friendly. I think it might work, but I never had that problem. Now, my wife, when she had COVID, she wound up losing her sense of smell, but that only lasted for 3 or 4 days. So unfortunately, I can't use her as the guinea pig to figure that out. And yeah, I'm surprised, all the scientists and, wiser people than me out there on the internet haven't tried that, haven't tried to recruit some people that have, said they have long COVID and tried some basic either keto friendly or, fasting type situations to see if they can recover from that lack of smell. That sounds scary to me, not being able to smell or taste. I mean, yeah, because there's a lot of, that's one of our warning signs, taste and smell. If something smells bad, we typically don't eat it. If fish smells fishy, it's not a good idea to eat it. And I got that one done good enough, and we're just gonna go kerplunk. There we go, right on. So, all right, let's see what we got going on in the thread here, because this is always fun stuff. TC, do you strictly drink water? No tea or coffee? No, I do drink coffee. I will drink tea. I won't add anything to it. So I'll have black coffee in the morning, and it takes some getting used to because I used to use that. I can't remember if it's Nestle or Carnation, whatever that nasty poison was that used to have the hazelnut. I loved the hazelnut creamer. I also used to love the French vanilla creamer. But when I found out it's like all soy, inflammatory products, it's a lot of sugar, and it's not the right kind of sugar. It's not natural sugar. So it's got a lot of high fructose corn syrup in there. It's a super sweetener, and the soy creates a lot of inflammation. So it's just ruining your day before you can even get it started. So that's a horrible thing. Hey, oh, hey, Donna. Hey, thanks for joining. I do appreciate you. Yeah, we're talking about, I started the video off with some Easter eggs, and I like not to waste when I don't have to. So basically what I got going on here is I'm soaking these. I just cracked them first, and then I just start soaking them because after Easter eggs have been out and they've been rolled around on the ground and the kids have played with them for a little while, the temperature changes, back and forth. And then we usually pop them in the fridge and they stay there until they go bad, and then we throw them away. I didn't want to throw these away. I wanted to multi-purpose these eggs and use them for making pickled eggs. And I've got a pretty good amount in here so far, so I'm kind of happy with that because I love eggs. I love hard-boiled eggs, especially because I haven't had them a lot when I was a kid. Growing up on the East Coast was fun, but my mom back east didn't cook a whole lot of actual food from scratch. She wasn't that great in the kitchen. I mean, she did provide really well. My family back east, they did an amazing job raising me as a kid. I was a piece of crap kid, by the way. I created a lot of problems for them, and I don't know. My mom watches my stuff sometimes, and I'm sorry, Mom, if I did any of that stuff to you, because yeah, I was not the best kid. I was a troubled child. I had a lot of issues, and thank goodness my life has turned around. Everything's been a lot more positive, especially since I got married to my most recent wife. Everything's been so much better, but it took a lot of time. Ooh, that one peeled super fun. I wish I could have showed that to you, but it was just like I touched it and like all the peel just came right off, and it was like, yeah, that's a good feeling when you can peel an egg and it looks kind of normal. I don't like it when they start falling apart, but into the juices we go. So I should probably get a couple more of these ready. And really all I'm doing is I'm just taking these, and these are cold. They're out of the fridge, so they're really cold to the touch. Now, another thing I like to do when I'm getting ready to boil my eggs is I'll take the eggs out of the fridge and I'll set them on the counter right next to pretty close to the stove. I'll just set them off to the side, and I just let them sit there while the water's boiling. And that'll actually, the temperature in the egg will come up and they'll start to sweat a little bit. They'll start to look shiny. And that's actually perfect before you put them in the boiling water, because it usually prevents them from cracking when you put them in the water, unless they're these really cheap, Walmart type eggs, the white ones that are bleached and all kinds of messed up. But it helps as long as they don't have a crack, and it makes it so they seem to peel a little bit easier when I do it that way as well. But right now, all I'm doing is I'm just pre-cracking these eggs, and I'm just going to be letting them soak in the water. That way, when I get one, I can just start peeling it. Now I got to remember which one was in here before. Okay, I think this one here. So yeah, we're going to get busy on peeling that one. Let's see, we only got 6 people in 6 people and 6 likes. I'm not doing my job today. I should be doing something else, huh? Maybe I did the wrong title or something. I don't know how they distribute these live streams anymore. It's just, whatever. It is what it is. But we're just gonna sit here and peel these and yammer on as I usually do, because can't get frustrated over the little details. But yeah, this egg is peeling pretty sweet too. I'm happy with this one. Not upset at all. I got my dog laying here on the floor. I think she's sleeping now because she's tired of hearing me talk. Yep, she's not even moving. I hope she's breathing. I mean, I worry about her. She's like in dog years. I think she's up in her 80s or 90s. So, and sometimes she'll dream and she'll just start kicking away at the floor. So, yeah, that one peeled pretty good too. I like that. That's beautiful. And something else I got to do today is I got to make up some bacon at some point. That's another project. I did get the skillet and all that out, but I don't know. I might run out of steam before I get to that point, because I did a video a while back of how to cook bacon in a pot. That was something that was recommended by, I was trying to find a less messy way of making bacon. Now it does work. It wrecks the pot though. So if you're going to do it, I wouldn't do it in an expensive pot. And we're talking about a pretty tall pot. But since then, we started doing bacon a couple different ways, seeing how we could make it work a little bit better for us and our family. And so far, the easiest way is using a skillet. A skillet with a 2 to 3 inch deep pan. We just lay out the bacon, and now those skillets don't heat up evenly, by the way, and that's the downside to using those skillets. So you're constantly having to babysit those and move them around. Hey, that's pretty. I like that. All right, into the juice you go. I think I got enough room for a couple more in there. So once we get those done, I'm going to plan on cutting up some bacon here and possibly get that started, because I'm going to be working tonight, and it'd be nice to have some bacon snacks in the truck, if I should get hungry, because I'm really not planning on eating dinner tonight. But anybody that's here that's interested in my weight loss and stuff like that, this week has pretty much just been the same as last week. There's no real dramatic weight loss, and a lot of that is because this isn't a fasting week for me. This is a week where I'm just kind of eating. I'm eating normal. I'm eating burger patties. The other night I made some chicken wings. Now I don't think the chicken wings are helping, so I might have to not eat chicken wings again for a while. I don't think they helped at all. If anything, I think I might have gained some weight, because I do believe there's some carbs or something in the chicken skin. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm not an expert on any of this. I just know that I've been really good at losing weight for the last 46 weeks, or at least maintaining my weight loss, and that's just as important as losing the weight. So you might drop 100 pounds, but if you can't maintain that, then you got to adjust some things, and hopefully you can at least keep that off. But yeah, I've been pretty consistent with having a 130-pound weight loss in the last 46 weeks. I'm pretty happy with that. There's always bumps in the road when you're doing a weight loss journey, because sometimes we have cravings. Sometimes we actually get into something we don't necessarily need. It's just human nature. It's how we are. There's nothing nefarious going on behind the scenes. It's just once in a while you'll do something out of habit, and it's trying to break those habits. That's the hard part. It's just breaking those nasty habits. Eating potato chips or carbs or something like that. And sometimes people fall completely off the wagon, but when they do fall completely off the wagon, the weight packs on quickly. So it's a very dangerous situation. When you go to morbidly obese, lose a bunch of weight, and then you're just like, oh, I'll be fine. I can eat like I used to. Then all of a sudden that weight will come back tenfold. It'll come back so freaking fast. I mean, you might as well pull a ripcord on a parachute. That's how fast it can come back, and it'll surprise most people. And then again, you'll go back into a depression, and you won't be able to recover from that depression until you can recognize what caused it. So that's the hardest part about anxiety and depression. Eating chicken doesn't keep me in ketosis, so I limit it. That might be it right there, Donna. Are you able to talk about smoking and craving for BK? She has lost 110 pounds. Well, if you're trying to tackle nicotine while you're doing a weight loss journey, the only thing I've been able to do to actually remedy or manage that is, because I did try this, and I was doing really, really well. I couldn't focus. I couldn't talk at all on YouTube. I couldn't come up with my weekly notes. I didn't want to do any of this. I did not want to continue any of it. I went completely off the rails because I went nicotine free for a period of time, and it took me into all kinds of junk food. It was a horrible experience because I felt like crap. Not only that, my head was hurting. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't concentrate. So I took the lighter of the two, which is I started vaping again. And I don't recommend vaping, but it helps me with my weight loss journey for right now. So I'm trying to lose some more weight. I'm trying to get down below 300 pounds. But when I did do that, week or so of zero nicotine, I figured out that you can use the same principles and same strategies that you use for weight loss. You just apply it to nicotine. You can apply it towards any addiction and have pretty good results. It's really hard, though. I mean, getting over addiction of any kind is really hard. As a lot of us know that are addicted to foods and sugars, getting over sugars and carbs was really, really difficult. And it took some time. It took a lot of patience, and we had to be patient with ourselves, in order to, make any progress, because you might lose 10 or 20 pounds, and then all of a sudden you turn around and it's like you don't lose any weight the next week. And that hurts us. That hurts us mentally. And it makes it really frustrating when you're just like, man, how come I lost weight last week and then I didn't lose weight this week? And that's just literally how the body works. The body doesn't want to lose the weight that fast, so it'll do something, to hold on to that extra weight. It'll be like, well, if you're not, especially if you're not drinking enough water. So if you're drinking the right amount of water, the weight comes off pretty seamlessly. But as soon as the body has this inkling like it might not get water, for an extended period of time, it's going to start holding on to that water. We're talking gallons of water. So a gallon of water is a little over 8 pounds. So if you're holding on to gallons of water, you can see a 16-pound weight gain in a matter of 3 days. Especially if you're starting to dehydrate yourself, you're not taking care of yourself by drinking the right amount of fluids each day. Now, for a guy my weight, I'm about 300 pounds right now. So my water intake is pretty close to 1 gallon of water a day. And that's just to keep me in an average ballpark to where my body's not going to say, you need to drink more water and you're not drinking enough water. So we're going to hold on to this extra gallon, because we might need to use that, because the body's great at self-regulation. It just seems to work really, really well. And I'm almost done peeling this egg. And I'd like to be done with the egg peeling now. I shouldn't have done egg peeling on a live stream. I don't know what else. I do this stuff to myself. I get horribly frustrated because I do things that make my hands messy. And yep, there it is. And we're plopping you in there. And these things are going to be amazing in a little while. So I only got a couple eggs left. We're just going to get these pre-soaked in the water. And hopefully I'll be able to get through these pretty quick and not bore everybody to death, because I know just sitting here watching a big guy on the internet peeling eggs is just so much fun. I think it'd be more entertaining to show you guys how I wash dishes, because there's a lot of women out there, they kind of appreciate men that wash dishes. Even though I'm not their man, it's just fun to watch a guy washing dishes, because we don't get to see it very often. I don't get to see it very often either. So, and if I did it on camera, I could always come back and rewatch my own video. That way I could see myself washing dishes once in a while. But I do wash dishes quite a bit. So yeah, I should have had these already pre-soaking. Get you out of the way. Won't need that anymore. Throw that away. I got a trash can right here. I'm like Julia Child. You remember watching that show back in the day? Julia Child, she would like chop everything up and talk in her weird way. And then all of a sudden she just like take all the cuttings and it was like she was throwing it on the floor. Me and my mom used to crack up watching her, because she just do, and then all of a sudden, it's like, did she just throw that on the floor? No, there's a trash can here. I got a trash can and I got a dog. So if something food-wise falls down there, the dog can have it. South Africa don't have water. Ooh, that's not fun. I would move to where the water is. I mean, granted, I live here in the United States and we do have, a lot of fresh water sources, but I have been known to move out of neighborhoods or city apartments and stuff like that because the water quality is crap. If the water is crap and it's what you have to bathe in, I move. I mean, I don't sit still. I will find a way to get to a better place with better water quality. That's why I live in this particular home here in Anchorage, is because we have a well here and the water quality is far better than what these people that live around me, that live in these city apartments that are on city water. I mean, the water quality here is far better than what my neighbors have outside of this neighborhood. So yeah, it's a big deal. Fresh water is always very important. There's a lot of it. It just helps if you move towards the mountains or something like that. Let's see. I saw your wife and assumed, which we all know what happens when you assume. Yes, we don't assume. We try not to assume, because every time, I've been guilty of that too. Assuming things of other carnivores. And I've had, behind the scenes discussions about other carnivores in the community. And I've been schooled, pretty quickly. It's like, hey, I was wrong. And I had to admit it. I was like, wow, I didn't realize any of that. I was totally wrong about that person. And, this is why it's important not to start bashing people, especially that are in your community on the internet, because you just don't know everyone's story, or how I got here, or how this person got to where they are, what this person's doing, unless you really, really dig deep and go back. And a lot of times we still misunderstand the situation. We have water under, but no brain to reach. That's horrible. You got to have the brain to reach the water, right? That's helpful. But yeah, that's one thing I love about Alaska, is we got some of the best water quality up here. We got the right amount of minerals and nutrients in a lot of the water here. And again, it depends on where you live. The further north you get into the water, it starts to have a lot of iron content, so it's going to look blood red. It'll make your toilet and bathtub look red, and it's not very appealing when you're looking at it. But as long as you know what it is and how to deal with it, it's not a problem. Either that or you just ignore it. I mean, it's not going to hurt you, and it's not bad to drink. It just doesn't look appealing when you pour a glass of water out of the faucet and it's got a blood red color to it. It kind of freaks people out, and I understand why. I didn't like cooking with it either, because when you started to boil it, it had that irony smell. Like it almost smelled like blood in the house when you started boiling it. So yeah, I wasn't a fan. I used to outsource my water. That one didn't peel so well. You see these, when they're not warm enough and you're doing it like this, they just peel weird, but it's still going to turn into a pickled egg. I'm not going to worry about it. We're not going to sweat the little details. Well, this is just a fun way to reuse your eggs, especially after Easter time, because I know a lot of you got Easter eggs sitting in your fridge, or you got small children. They might have came over, visited for the holidays, and now you got a whole bunch of, dyed hard-boiled eggs sitting in your fridge. Just reuse them. Either eat them, turn them into egg salad. I've done that before, but it makes some funny-looking egg salad. Because when you start dyeing eggs, you get like the yellows and the greens, mixed in there. And if it's just for yourself, it's not too bad. But yeah, make your egg salad with like a keto-friendly type mayonnaise. That's pretty helpful. Although my family does not like keto-friendly mayonnaise, like Primal. They don't like it at all. They don't like the texture. They don't like the lack of flavor that it has. So I have not yet been able to find a workaround for my family when it comes to mayonnaise. They either like that, can't remember, like Best Value, or they don't like Miracle Whip. Thank goodness, that stuff is horrible. My mom used to eat that stuff on crackers, like Ritz crackers. I don't know how. I could never handle it because it was super sweet. That Miracle Whip. And I never understood why. I tried it a long time ago because it says it's like a salad dressing. Well, I tried it on a salad, and I thought that was disgusting. I was like, oh, that doesn't work either. And that was before they had like all this high fructose corn syrup crap in every single product you can imagine. But I do believe it had a lot of sugar, and it had a really strong taste even back then. I think they manipulated the formula now, so it's even worse for us. So I don't like Miracle Whip at all. I couldn't imagine eating it anymore. Let's see. BBK. Sounds like you might be jumping out here. Okay, I have to go to work now. Reception job in the hotel. Belgium. Take care all. Hey, okay. Well, I appreciate you there, BK, for jumping in. I'm going to get the rest of this egg mutilated. Oh, this one's getting bad. Yeah, this one didn't soak for long enough. So it's making the egg kind of whatever. Not so great. But hey, we gained a few more viewers in the room. I appreciate everybody that's jumping in. My name is Big John. I'm from Alaska. I live here in Anchorage, Alaska. And today we're just basically reusing Easter eggs from Easter. We're just getting them peeled, and we're going to be putting these in the brine over here, and then they're going to sit in the fridge for 7 days. It's a super easy way, super fun way to make yummy, tasty treats for next week or a couple weeks from now. Now these things will keep in this brine indefinitely as long as they're submerged. They just need to be submerged. That's the biggest thing. So one thing I will do is while these things are going through their pickling process, is every day or every other day I take this out because all the goody stuff floats to the bottom. So I like to just take it out and carefully flip it upside down, shake it up a little bit, and that way I can make sure all the eggs are getting a good coating. And if there is an egg that's all right, we're done. Yeah, all right. So here's the last one. We're going to tuck that away in there. Give it a good little push. Now I could store that just like this because the egg is actually under the water. But sometimes they might actually get bumped and the egg might come up above the water. Now it's important to keep these things submerged or mix them up enough so you can make sure that there's a good solid covering of all the yummy ingredients. And I'll show you what happens. It all sits on the bottom like that. You can see the eggs down there at the bottom. So what I do is I just flip it over. And you can see how, you know, I got turmeric, I got mustard, I got dill, I got all kinds of stuff in there. But if I just give that a little gentle shake, that'll all mix up. And I'm just reusing a pickle jar. And this is a homemade brine with apple cider vinegar and water, 50-50, warmed up on a stove. And then I put it in there. Now you can see how everything is all uniformed. And it'll stay that way for about a day. So tomorrow I might take it out. I'll flip it over. I'll do this and then this. But it's a good idea to never store these upside down. You know, you don't want to store these like this in case your seal starts to leak, because then you're going to have nasty vinegar juice all over your fridge, and you're going to be complaining about all kinds of other stuff. Now, if you should have a lid that has a bad seal, or you think it might have a horrible seal, I've been known to use coffee filters too. If you take a coffee filter and just lay it over this right here, and just cover that, you know, that'll seal it for quite a while, especially if you're planning on leaving this one in there for many, many weeks on end. And it's in a vinegar brine. This stuff is great. It lasts in the fridge for a long, long time without any problems at all. But yeah, we're going to tuck you away in the fridge and get you out of here. And my daughter did not want her apples. She's not into the apples today. All right. I'm going to dig out some treats because I need to make some bacon today. Anyways. And we already have, you know, my little skillet going on over here. I'm going to dump out this water. It's in the bowl. That's out of the way. But this is I'll get this thing preheated. So I have one of these. I mean, this was an awesome combo. So it came with a little skillet plate that goes underneath here. It's got a lid. It doesn't, surprisingly enough, that when I cook bacon in here, it doesn't splatter on anything around it. So, and we've been doing it like this for a long time. We're going to get this thing cranked up high. And we hope the cats don't come running and jump on this, because that would really suck. So we're just going to let that preheat. And then we're going to come back over here. And we're going to get our bacon ready. Because everybody likes cooking bacon. And it's way more fun to watch a fat man that lives in Alaska in his kitchen stumble around the kitchen, bumble with his camera, trying to make his own bacon. Because when you make bacon at home, wow, what am I doing? Look at this. Oh, how embarrassing. Is that a good enough angle? You guys, okay, did I make anybody seasick? If I did, I apologize. So I need to get in here, try to open this up. Right on, here we go. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting the bacon out of the package. As most of you can see, I'm trying not to cut myself, because sometimes these packages don't like to cut. My dog's getting excited. She can smell the bacon now. All right. Why am I fumbling so much with this? Okay, we're going to cook all of this. For some reason, whenever I cook bacon, I like have next to nothing left. Am I the only one that does that? Like I wind up eating the majority of this all by myself. How much is in here? Net weight, 48 ounces. How many pounds is 48 ounces? Somebody know how to do math? I don't know how to do math right now. But yeah, when I get this stuff set up and ready, if you're going to just make to-go bites, like you're just going to pack it in a Tupperware and take it with you, it's just a good idea to cut it up in fours. You know, it does make some pretty small pieces. So if you want a little bit bigger pieces, you know, just cut them in half, because these are going to shrink by almost 50% when they're done. But if you do it like that, you're going to have these little like bacon chips. Super fun, super easy to make. Really not that messy, especially if you cook it in one of these skillets over here. I mean, it works out pretty good. This is some good looking bacon here. I like it. I think my wife picked this up at Fred Meyer's. I believe is that a Kroger store? Because I know they're called the different names down in the lower 48. So like we have Cars, and Cars is a Safeway store. Fred Meyer's, I believe, is a Kroger store. So yeah, it's weird how these shopping not shopping, but these companies are all intertwined and they change their name depending on where they are. So let's see, I'm looking at the brand here is Hills Premium Meats. It says since 1947, if that means anything. Let's see what kind of nonsense we have on the ingredient list, because it's really important to always understand your ingredients. Let's see, about 17 servings per container. The serving size is 2 pan-fried slices. Okay, we eat way more than that, by the way. I eat a ton of bacon. When I start eating bacon, I get into a lot of bacon. I don't see the ingredients. Maybe they're on the front. I don't know. Weird. This is a product made in Oregon. That's nice to know. So it's made here. Somewhat local pigs. Where is the... I know it's bacon, but usually it's got like a decent ingredient list. So it's got handling instructions. It's got cooking instructions. Weird. Yeah, usually you can flip these packages. I don't see like an actual ingredient list anywhere on here unless it's hiding under the label. Sometimes they hide it under the label, and I'm not playing in there. That's yucky. Bad idea in there. So we're gonna get the bacon on over over here and get it started in my handy dandy little thing here. Like I said, it's always more fun to watch somebody else make bacon than actually, make it yourself, because it's my mess. It's not in your house. Let's see, what do we got going on? Donna Couture, I love bacon. TC, didn't know I needed to do math when I came here. Hey, if you know how to do math, it's always helpful, because sometimes I stick my foot in my mouth and I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing. Me too, squirrel. We're all squirrely here. That's the fun part about it. We never know what we're doing. I mean, sometimes I'm doing something really, really serious, and other days I am just making stuff, and I don't know why. Because this is what I like to do. This is what I do to keep myself entertained. If you don't know about this stuff here, this is what I use to cook with avocado oil. So let's get all this laid out, because this should be good and hot now. There we go. Oh, hear the sizzle. I like the sizzle sound. Wow, this is nice. Nice thick sliced bacon. And if you guys have hung around me before, you already know, I got a little trick for, draining the bacon here, and I'm going to show you guys that here in just a second if you don't already know it. And I don't know how to slice the bacon, apparently, because I had a problem there. Okay. Let's get all this laid out. Oh my goodness. I can't wait till this is done, because I love bacon. Just an amazing snack. And I can't believe they tried to make it sound like bacon was poison. But it's really not nearly as bad for us as we thought. Because if it was, I would have been dead months ago. Because I have eaten so many pounds of bacon since I've been on the carnivore diet. I kind of pushed the limits. I thought, when I started eating bacon, I was like, well, they say I can eat that much, so I'm just gonna do it. And I was probably being a little bit irresponsible, kind of gluttonous. And that's just kind of what I do out here, is I just push the limits. I try to see how far I can push myself at some points, doing these weird fastings that I might do. My towel is on the other side of the room. Okay. And then I will need to find some tongs. Tongs are always helpful. Always have these handy. Of course, I got booby traps. I like to booby trap myself. Oh, what am I doing here? Flip that around again. There we go. Ooh, hi guys. Bet you didn't know I miss you for like every week. Like if I'm not on here, I kind of miss the community. But something I like to use to drain the grease, and this is a little trick my wife taught me, is you save these things, and this is what I'll set my bacon on top of, and then when you're done, you just throw them away. No big deal. It makes it super easy to drain the bacon grease off. I got the rest of my bacon sitting here just waiting to go in. And once these start shrinking, I usually just add in some extra pieces here, in whatever spaces are created. It takes a little while for them to shrink, but yeah, you guys get the picture. John, do you have an Amazon link to that pan? Boy, I have Amazon links connected to some of my videos. I think some of my videos actually got throttled back because YouTube thinks it's spam, or yeah, something like that. I had this discussion with Todd last night. I was like, man, I just got my Amazon affiliate links set up, and I think they're hurting me more than anything, because I had a whole bunch of them posted on one of my previous videos, and the video did squat nothing. And I was like, wow. I was like, either that or that's just my base audience, which is like 300 or 400 people, and that's okay too. Why? Stay still, upright. There we go. Or I can just, maybe I can sit this way and then it look normal. I don't know, but yeah, right now, let's see, in my last main video that I did, that's an actual video, I have a couple affiliate links down there in the description section of the video itself, and it's for the King James Bibles. I have one for Leather Bible, his and hers, but if anybody wanted to shop through one of my affiliate links, all you got to do is click on the link and actually shop through the link. And for 24 hours, any purchases you make through the link, it has to be through the link, we'll get a minor commission. And it would be helpful. It would keep my affiliate links active. And I've been kind of upset about that, because when I applied for the affiliate links, it said I had to wait for a response from Amazon. Well, I waited 2 weeks, and that response never came. So I got a hold of their affiliate link hotline and talked to them directly, and I found out I was immediately approved. And I was like, well, yippee-woo, great. I didn't know how to get the links. I didn't know how to attach them to anything at that time. So I'm already 2 weeks late, and we're supposedly only have 3 weeks to start using the links, or we get throttled back, or we might have to wait an additional 60 to 90 days before we can reapply for the links. And I was like, man, that kind of broke my heart. I was like, man, I missed the boat on that. But, that's just something that would help out with the basics. I do have an Amazon wish list attached to the channel now, but the wish list is stuff that I could use for the channel, stuff I could use for my pets, my animals, and stuff like that. It's nothing. It's not even attached to the affiliate links. So, and if somebody bought something off the wish list, it would actually get shipped straight to my PO box, the PO box that I bought, and nobody sends anything to. And I don't even think I got a postcard in there yet. But yeah, I paid $160 for 6 months, and I'm just like, should I have done that? Or I don't know. It might have been, because now we're struggling for money. So I invested in the channel. We're kind of upside down on that aspect. And that's all. That's YouTube. I mean, that's anytime you get invested in the social medias, you tend to overspend accidentally. Yeah, I appreciate it. If anybody hits the like button, it's not something anybody has to do. Got 31 people in the stream. I appreciate everybody. But, being out here on YouTube, this isn't about making money for me. And this is a conversation I've had on the sidelines with many other carnivores. We're not making money. Some of us have a lot of viewers. We have a lot of, good videos. We have some really horrible videos at times. But the thing is we're really not making money like it appears on the other end of the screen. Because, $2 a day, $3 a day, that's what I'm making right now on YouTube. I come out here, with the kindness of my heart, to try to help share my journey and hopefully help somebody that was struggling just like me. Because, when I was 435 pounds, the only thing that would have helped me, is somebody that I could level with that would actually respond to me. When I was trying to figure out, how to lose weight, or how to fast, or, how to get the carnivore diet started, or why the keto diet was just so freaking confusing. I didn't understand it. And I was like, I thought keto and Atkins and all that was just like, it was the big rave for a while, right? Keto is extremely powerful. KetoVore I thought was better, more realistic for the majority of the population is KetoVore. So keto friendly, carnivore heavy type meals. You're still skipping out on all the sugary stuff and a lot of the carbs, but you're just trying to keep your body in perpetual ketosis, which promotes your weight loss. And that was kind of how I got started. and I started seeing a lot of benefits doing KetoVore. But I had a lot of tendencies to go backwards when doing KetoVore, because, you know, if I were to eat lettuce or something like that, it would trigger a sugar response, and I'd want to just dive into the unhealthy crap. For anyone interested, Carnivore Quest recently did a video breaking down how much money they make per video and also the amount of time it takes to make a video. Very eye-opening and interesting. Yeah, there's a ton of time. I mean, my basic update video for the week, you know, for starters, I'm notating everything throughout the entire week, so there's all that time in there. You know, plus I might be doing random live streams, so that's extra time. The live streams are better because I don't have to sit down and edit videos. I love the editing part of the video making. It's a whole lot of fun, and it's what kind of got me started on, you know, trying to figure out all of this stuff, because we're all junior editors here. We're just learning how to do stuff, unless we got the money to hire an editor, and we don't have time for that. You know, figuring out how to add music, do overlays, transitions, make our own little introduction, but not make it so long that people just like, dude, I don't want to see this. It's taking forever. It takes a lot of time to figure out. So you have to produce a lot of horrible videos in order to start producing halfway decent videos that might actually get some views and make you some money. And my 100 pounds of weight loss, it was almost like YouTube was waiting for me to post that video, because it was at kind of a specific time frame of my weight loss journey. And my previous videos before that did lousy. I mean, we're talking like 200 views, some less than that. And then all of a sudden I did my 100 pounds of weight loss video, and I spent 2 weeks researching other similar videos that did really well and trying to take little bits and pieces of information from it, not to duplicate it, but to try to recreate that emotion, a situation, you know, my sincerity and stuff like that, how I talk in the video. So there was a lot of, you know, I would say something like now, then I would come back after putting it in the laptop and be like, I don't like the way I sounded. I don't like the way I looked. I didn't like the lighting. So I'd come back and I would completely redo that entire video. And sometimes it was just bits and pieces, but it took me a long time to make that video. So it took me about 2 weeks to make a really good video that got about 25,000 views. That's just being realistic. I mean, most people don't take 2 weeks to figure out anything, let alone their own employment. So we're gonna head on over here and see what's going on with these little guys, because we like bacon. I can't wait till the bacon's done. Meat, all meat. I'm trying to carnivore my wife to let me buy. Oh, convince. I don't know why I'm seeing carnivore when I see convince. Lucifer's apostle. Meat, all meat. I'm trying to convince my wife to let me buy cow to eat. That would be great. Now that's an option too that some people up here have done, is they go out and they actually buy a whole half, you know, a side of cow. I believe it's like around $6,000, and they wind up splitting it up with relatives or family or whatnot. That's a pretty good option. I would love to do that if I had a huge giant freezer for doing that, but I have a small one and it's usually full, and we can stock that freezer up pretty quick with you know, whatever meats we have. This is a lot harder to do when you're holding a camera and you're just trying to talk and not be boring. But I got my Carhartts on, so I'm safe. I'm work safe. And these are sticking together. They're being little children. Stop it. You're fighting with me. You're just bacon, man. Just flip over. Be innocent little bacon pieces. Now, there was a while on the carnivore diet where I was really cutting back on bacon consumption, because, like I said, I was irresponsible with it for a while. I was eating so much bacon, it was just unfathomable how much bacon I was eating. And I'm not sure why I was eating it. I think I was eating it just to prove a point. And the point might not even be a good point to try to prove. But it was something I was doing. And lo and behold, it didn't kill me. So I'm kind of happy about that. You know, not dying from over consuming bacon like a glutton. That's part of my problem. Oh, you guys see that? Look up. You see that? There's my Molly cat. she knows that I'm filming and she's going to be doing stuff. I'll move over. Here she goes. So far, so good. She didn't climb up my back. That would have sucked. Oh, here she comes. She's coming around. Get you guys over here. There we go. You gonna eat some food, or you gonna be a little turd? Now, last week's video, she was a turd. She was like in and out of the camera lens. She was doing all kinds of stuff, jumping around, acting all crazy. I mean, the cats here are a lot of fun. I think the other two cats are locked in the bedroom with my daughter, so we haven't been dive bombed by any of the gray kitties today. But yeah. Now, this is the cat that was the one that used to try to kill me all the time. Because even when I hold her lightly, like right now, she's clawing me. Like, ow, those are in my skin. And she got ear mites from one of the other cats when we first got it. And she was constantly asking to get them fixed. Now, the other two cats, we had to treat all three cats for ear mites. And the other two cats, the gray ones, I mean, we had to wrap them up in a towel, and they fought me like tooth and nail. This one here, I had her wrapped up in a towel, and she was just letting me, you know, she wasn't fighting at all, which is amazing. That means that cat really wanted help. So, and I appreciate that, because she's the one that used to like try to rip arteries out, you know, every time when she got mad. I think she was abused from her former owners. I have a cat in Africa we call it Lion. That would be so cool, having a lion for a pet, just as long as it doesn't get wily. At Northern Wow. How long does that last? So you just bought half a cow, and it was $1,600, 230 pounds. That is Alaska price. Okay, I had that price wrong, apparently. So $1,600. I knew there was a 6 in there somewhere. So $1,600, that's really not a bad price for a side of beef. Then if you got some friends that can help you butcher that down and get it stored, you know, that's a fantastic option. But right now, just like with the hamburger meat, I can easily consume 10 pounds of hamburger meat within a 5 to 7 day period without a problem. Sometimes it's a pound, 2 pounds a day, no problem at all throughout the week. And then my family, they like burgers too, so it doesn't last very long. Oh, the bacon's getting closer to done. All right, look at this. Oh my goodness, the sound of frying bacon. I think it's the carnivore guy. He uses that on his intro. He uses the sound of bacon frying. I think that's the one. Or old guy carnivore. I thought that was an interesting intro. I'm really not too worried about that intro, because, you know, I talk a lot more about, you know, a lot of weight loss topics that I'm currently doing, or fasting and stuff like that. It's not always 100% carnivore topics, and I try to stay relevant. I try to keep up with all the other guys, but it's not easy, and they know it too. It's not easy, you know, because they see their analytics moving around all the time and doing different stuff. But I think ultimately just helping people is more important than worrying about, you know, hey, are you like all carnivore all the time? You know, because if we can't get people to actually start to do something for themselves when it comes to weight loss, then they're not ever going to get to the carnivore aspects of things, because most people don't start with a carnivore lifestyle. They do if they know somebody that's doing it, and they're always, you know, confronted with that person every single day, and they can physically see the benefits. They'll absolutely start thinking about it. Doesn't mean they're going to actually try it. So we need to just start roping in the people, you know, that are sincerely out there looking for help, you know, like I was. And then, you know, let them know, hey, this community's open to you. You know, you don't have to be a carnivore, you know, to be in the community to hopefully learn how to lose weight, because every single carnivore I know, they know how to lose weight. They know a lot of carnivore stuff, but they also know keto. They also know KetoVore. You know, they've also experimented with all kinds of different types of weight loss. They've experimented with fasting and stuff like that. A lot of it never worked. It never worked for me. It didn't work for them. That's how we got here in the first place. If anybody's ever curious, like, hey, you know, why would you just up and become a carnivore? Well, most of us, we didn't. We didn't up and become anything. You know, we were struggling. We all had, you know, depression. We had anxiety. We had, you know, severe pain, severe problems in our body. And we were just trying to get healthy again. We just wanted to, you know, figure ourselves out. And then in the process, you know, a lot of us, we were already doing YouTube type stuff. So we just switched gears and we started talking about our weight loss, our journey, our experience, and not even to make money. Because if I wanted to make money on YouTube, I'd be doing something completely different, because the videos I used to produce would have made me a lot more money a lot faster, you know, because they were high impact, really informational, real fast paced. People loved them. I mean, we're talking nonstop views all the time, but that's not what is important. You know, what is important is that I actually care about people, and I actually want them to feel better about themselves, because I remember how I felt. Nobody cared about me. I didn't think anybody cared about me if they did. And I just want to say, yeah, this whole entire community cares about you. You know, we want you to get healthier. You know, if you want to do carnivore, that's completely up to you. If you want to try carnivore, it's an amazing challenge. I mean, it is a challenge. It's not just easy, as simple as what my friends used to say, just eat meat. I mean, it's really not that simple, because you have to work on the mindset before you can just eat meat all the time, because that's not what's been programmed in our brain throughout all these years of knowledge and all these years of school, all these years of people teaching us nutrition and health and stuff like that. It's not something that's up here. I mean, and you have to try it and experiment with it to see if it works for you. I'm a binge eater, so if I eat a lot of meat, it's really hard for me to overeat meat. So that works for me, you know, because I'm not eating pizza anymore. You know, I can eat hamburger patties. I can eat 2 pounds of hamburger patties until I'm stuffed, and I'm still doing myself much more justice than if I were to sit there and eat the same amount of pizza, because the breads and the sugars and the glutens, yeah, they mess me up. They made me feel horrible. Let's see. I follow old guy Carnivore Mitch. Yeah, I like him. I also like how he usually responds to me pretty fast. You know, even if I make a nonsense type, you know, like, hey man, that's a great video or something like that. He usually tries to do his best to come back and actually talk. And oh yeah, the other guy, I can't think of his name now. I need to write these guys' names down before I get out here and do that. Chris Cook's in Nashville. He's great. He's fantastic about responding personally to almost every single comment that comes in. And some of the other carnivore channels that have outgrown, you know, that point, it's actually heartbreaking. You know, when people come in, they come in your community and they're trying to either reach out for help, or, you know, you can kind of zero in on the ones that need help and actually respond to them, you know. But I couldn't imagine, you know, having like 20,000 comments and I haven't responded to a single one of them. I don't know how I would be able to manage all that. And I wouldn't want to hire somebody to do it either, because, you know, it's just not personal. It's not, you know, because we like people that are interactive no matter what we do. That seems to work better all the way around. You know, like, I'm not out here, I might ask people to subscribe to the channel or something like that, but I'm out here looking for the active subscribers, you know, the ones that are interested in what I'm talking about, the ones that are going to come back next week and possibly, you know, interact with my live streams or interact with a video I produce. You know, give me a comment, give me something, because now I need to get all this off of here, and I'm doing this one-handed. I gotta put you guys down for a second. I'm gonna be making a mess here. Get you flipped around so you can see what the hell I'm doing. There we go. Ah! Oh no. Decent angle? Nope. There we go. A little bit better. All right. Anybody seasick? I hope not. But yeah, this is all we do. So now I got these yummy little bacon bites that I can pack with me to the store. Pack with me in the big truck, you know, for later tonight. Super helpful, super easy snack. And I'm sure the kids and the family will tear these up too at some point, because they never last long. For some reason, bacon never ever lasts long. All right, so there's that. Boom. Now we can just set those up there. We can get the rest of this bacon out here. So that was 1/4 of that slab of bacon. Yeah, I love bacon. And I really don't mind cooking it this way. This works out really well. So yeah, we just get it all on here and crowd it up as best as possible. And I hope I don't get talking too much and forget about it, because that would be really disappointing to burn all my bacon. I would not be happy. All right. But so far, I've been pretty happy with the quality of this bacon. It's not all weak and falling apart like some bacon I've bought in the past. Like you try to pull it apart and it just falls apart. And I guess that's just part of it. Oh, come on. A little bit quicker. I wish there was an easier way to do this. This isn't too bad though. I'm not complaining. So I remember one time I was working at a pizza place on the East Coast, and something fell in the deep fryer. And I stuck my hand in the deep fryer and I grabbed it. And yeah, I did not burn myself. I don't know how. I have no idea. Now, I've known a couple other people over the years to do the exact same thing. Stick their hand in a deep fryer, and they never did burn themselves. But okay, this is what we got going. So this is the other quarter. That all fits right in here. So I'll have to do that 2 more times to finish that up. And this is my little trick here for draining the bacon grease. So while that's cooling off, I might as well open this up. I'm making a mess over here. You guys can't see that. I'm okay with that. And we're going to close that. We're just going to get a Tupperware out and get it ready. Because when that stuff cools off, I'm going to want to put it in a Tupperware. So let's see here. Ooh, what's this button do? Ha! I figured out something. Oh, that one looks good. Look at that. Crispy. A little too crispy. Oh. Yeah, that's good bacon. I like it. I have actually had bad bacon before. I had bacon that tasted like garbage. I was like, wow, why did I even make that? It had no flavor, had nothing to it. Lee LaFork. Hey, how you doing? Bacon buddies. That's right. Hey, there you go. Lisa Blessed Life. Thanks for jumping in here. I appreciate you guys. Okay. I'm gonna make you guys seasick again. There we go. I should probably get some water. I always do that. I sit down and I'm like, I should have did this. But I guess that's part of my exercise for the day. I still haven't been exercising as much as I should. Last week was probably my best week for exercise. Not this week, last week. Because I was actually getting out. A lot of the snow here in Alaska was melting. So it made it a little easier to get out and walk around and do stuff. And right now we still got snow. And I'll be out hauling snow later. And hopefully, you know, I'll get some money up, a little bit of money, pay some of the bills, hopefully buy some more meat. And I had a problem paying the internet bill yesterday. When did it become so freaking hard to make your payments? I mean, I wasn't allowed to, it wouldn't allow me to get into the application. And then it asked me a whole bunch of nonsense questions, you know, email addresses, primary phone number. So the email address wouldn't work. Entering in my primary phone number didn't work. So I had to call the company. And then once I got on there with the company, it was the same runaround. You know, you have to enter in this, you have to enter in that, you have to press 2, you got to listen to this recording. Then they give you a recording in Spanish. And then they tell you after that, if you're English, just hold the line. I'm like, come on, I just want to talk to somebody so I can pay my freaking bill. Because you can't really walk into these places anymore because they're so busy. You go in there because everybody's having problems with their cellular issue or their internet or something like that. So it just makes it really, really frustrating. Using oil, lard, or tallow. We're just using bacon today. That's all we're doing. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it took me about a day and a half to actually make my payment. And if my internet were to get shut off, then there goes all my YouTube uploads or live streams or anything like that for a period of time until I can figure out something. So what a headache. And it's like I said, we're not making any money. And what money we do make is just helping us out just a smidge. I mean, really just a smidge, but it is helpful. Any money this time of year in Alaska is helpful because we're in between seasons. And I really don't want to get a job at Walmart because I don't think I'd be a very good door greeter. They probably wouldn't allow me to be a door greeter because I'm pretty big and people would be scared of me. And that's not the whole point of that. Well, let's see. Rob Walker, sorry about that, brother. Yeah, life's a struggle. It's a pain in the butt sometimes, but you just got to deal with it as it comes. You know, I think if life was easy, then it wouldn't be near as much fun. Because if I woke up and every single day was just easy, I didn't have to care about anything, I didn't have to do anything, I'd still be fat. I'd still be 435. You know, 300 pounds is fat enough, but 435 is absolutely ridiculous. And to make life any easier, you know, it's not helpful. You know, because even when I was 435, I was making a lot of money. I was doing great. Now that I've lost a lot of the weight, I'm not making the same amount of money. I mean, I still make pretty good money, but since inflation and all that kicked us all in the pants, and we're still trying to, you know, figure our way around, you know, what happened to our savings over the last 3 or 4 years, because I'm pretty sure I know where it went. It went over that way. If you go across the water here, you can get pretty closer to where it went. You know, from Alaska, yeah, that way. That's where our money went. It went that way. We're never going to see that again. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but you know, before everything started getting bad, I had a savings. I mean, I had a good savings. I mean, we were prepared for almost anything, and we were warned, you know, that things were going to start getting bad. You know, all the prepper channels, everybody that was, you know, worried about shortages and stuff, and I was in there with all of them too. I was like, man, yeah, the storm's coming. And I was just getting unhealthier and unhealthier at that time. And it wasn't helping my situation. I should have known better. But that's where it all stems from, is we should have known better. But now we realize it. So when we realize something, we got to start fixing it. So I needed to fix my weight. I needed to fix what I was eating. Just because I made a lot of money didn't mean I was so entitled that I could eat whatever I wanted when I wanted. That's where I was. I was like the playing field I was negotiating with. It's like, oh yeah, I can eat whatever I want when I want. We'd order pizza, you know, we'd order Chinese food, we'd order all kinds of stuff, you know, because we had the money. And now that we're humbled with less money, it's definitely making me make better decisions. Think about what we're buying. You know, even when it comes to buying meats and stuff like that, I'm more frugal. You know, we utilize Costco Business Center especially. Great deals. You know, buy the inexpensive meat, the inexpensive cuts. If it's under $2.99 a pound, you're doing pretty good right now. If it's like, you know, some of the food is like 99 cents a pound for meat, yeah, grab a hold of that. But, you know, the burgers and stuff like that, I like that. It's under $2.99 a pound. So I can get, you know, 10 pounds for like 30, 40 bucks, and super cheap, super inexpensive. I don't miss eating out. Most of it was junk food. I'm kind of with you there. I do miss some of the experiences, family experiences, going out to eat with family, going out to eat with friends. And I still found out that I can still do that. I just don't partake. You know, everybody else can sit there and eat whatever they want. I might sit there with my $1 million Carlisle cup and just drink water. This is what a big company thanks you with when you make them $1 million, by the way. It's just one of those. I'm still sore about that cup. That's crap. But anyways, get over here and flip some bacon. And I might be able to put some of it away. Should be cooled off enough to put it away in the container. Man, oh man. Yeah, bacon is really not that bad when you cook it like this. And I got this little skillet here. It's turned all the way up. And it works really reliably. English son. All right, hold on. So this little skillet works really well. And as you can see, this center section here of the skillet, this is where everything cooks faster. So sometimes I have to move, you know, bacon around or get everything closer to the center as I go. But that's just how this particular type skillet works. I wish I did have an Amazon link to this.
I bought this at Walmart, I believe after me and my wife got married, and it's just super handy. And the company name on it, for anybody that was interested, is a Faberware. So you might be able to locate it. I haven't been able to find another one. And the reason is, I believe, it's because it actually works. So whenever anything works, like a toaster, microwave oven, coffee pot, for instance, when any appliance or little thing like that works, or I'm surprised the Instapot Vortex Plus air fryer works as well as it does. Because for so many years, whenever I would find anything that worked correctly, I'd go back to try to buy it again, and it'd be taken off the shelf, because it actually worked. That's so frustrating. When you're trying to find stuff, that's quality, and we kind of done it to ourselves. As a country as a whole, we created so many laws here in this country that prevented anybody from making USA stuff. I mean, because there's so many laws. There's so EPA laws. There's pollution. There's environmental laws, and we did it to ourselves. That's why I think it's funny. People don't like China. Well, okay, whatever. That makes no sense to me, because we outsourced all of our businesses literally from this ground and told them you can't do business here because we're going to charge you to holy high heck. So now we're going to have to move you out of here and put you in China, or put you in Indonesia or Pakistan or somewhere in South Africa to do business. But we still want the product. So we're going to have to buy it from China. I mean, chances are you're buying a lot of your US type business stuff from China, but it's actually from people that would normally be doing business here in the United States. But we screwed that up years ago. And that's a sad story. But let's see, no diets work. Rob Walker, no diets work. It's what works for you with a plan. No, diets are kind of a pain. Like I said, it's a mental aspect. When I hear the word diet, I don't hear something that works, because how many of us have tried, to do a diet, or to be more vegetarian, or be vegan-like, or anything like that. We've tried it. We've tried the exercise. We've tried the salads. We tried aerobics classes, or joining up Jenny Craig type memberships and stuff like that. And all we're doing is spending money on somebody else's idea instead of coming up with our own idea. And we can actually market our own ideas if we'd like, but I don't see a point. I mean, I can make money off the principles and the ideas that I've already implemented and the stuff that I share. And I've actually had some backlash for some of the information I share, because I teach people how to make electrolytes at home. It costs pennies. You don't have to buy a product to have electrolytes. It's literally just good salt, good quality salt, mixed with water. That's electrolytes. It's super simple. I mean, preppers have been doing it for I don't know how many years. The military's been doing it since forever. I mean, that's why they send you out with salt rations and stuff like that. You mix the salt in the water, and boom, you got electrolytes, and you can keep on going. I mean, it's just that simple. There's no rocket science behind it. And I could be making money with electrolyte sales and stuff like that, but I just try to be realistic. I try to be honest with people. When I started this weight loss journey, I was on a budget. And so that's kind of where I stand, as I try to share my journey of losing weight, being on a budget, and being, because when you're 400 pounds, it's just miserable. I mean, it's just absolutely miserable. And all I could think of was somebody else sitting there, just staring off at the ceiling and being absolutely miserable. They're miserable when they're sitting down. They're miserable when they're walking. They're miserable when they're in bed. I mean, they're miserable when they go to the bathroom or try to clean themselves up in the shower. I mean, I don't want people to have to feel like they're miserable. There is an out. There is a way to feel better about ourselves. And it doesn't require a whole lot of effort. It doesn't require money. It doesn't require you to, pay for these $90 powders, because I don't believe in those either. I mean, I've been offered these $90 powders, and I've looked into a lot of them. And chances are, what you do, like with these powders, is you buy a big fat container about this big for $90. You might use that much container and you just forget about it. It just sits there, and eventually it hatches bugs, and it's no good. Yeah, because all those powders come with little bug eggs. Let's see what's going on here. Rob Beatty, is certified Angus and Wagyu just a fad, or is it better? It is just that. It is a fad. Beef is beef. Doesn't matter if it's Wagyu, doesn't matter if it's Angus beef. Yeah, beef is beef. It's just where the cut comes from, the fat quantity, whatever. You can negotiate that with any side of beef. You can add additional fats, natural fat, beef tallow, bacon grease, butter. You can figure out your equations however you need to. But Amber says if you don't deal with the food addiction, no way of eating will work. That's another one. I mean, you could be addicted to fruits. I mean, that was a problem I had for quite a while. Is I was having random fruit cravings, and when you're trying to stay in ketosis, you're trying to lose weight. Excess fruits don't work well. If anything, they make you go backwards. They make everything more difficult and hard to understand. Because when you're doing pretty strict elimination diets, like carnivore, keto, fasting type diets, the lion diet, which I haven't tried yet. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the lion diet because it's a pretty good elimination diet there. And I have to be in the right state of mind to do a diet like that. And I also have to have basically the stage set for it a week in advance in order to actually do a good 5-day stretch of the lion diet. It's not just as simple as just eat ruminant meats, at least not in my brain until I get my mind wrapped around it. So, all right. Yes. Sugars too. I was a sugar addict for sure. And those sugar addictions come back incredibly fast. Even trying to eat healthy whole foods. Like for me, like I said, lettuce would trigger a sugar response. If I were to eat lettuce, spinach, kale, or anything like that, I'd be wanting to have like a cookie or a piece of cake, or maybe dive into a box of Cheez-Its. And so it's very, very hard, to figure out those triggers without removing a lot of the food and then slowly start to integrate that back in. That's how I learned that lettuce did that to me, because I couldn't believe it. I was just trying to eat a salad, somewhat healthy salad. This is when I was doing keto. And all of a sudden I was just like, it was like I was a robot. I was in the pantry. Then all of a sudden I'm sitting there eating something that's not even keto friendly. I'm like, why did I just do that? And I had to think of, okay, how did this happen? What did I just eat? How was I feeling? And once you break down the feelings and emotions, it's a whole lot easier to understand, what our problems are. Oh yeah. Fun times here. We got bacon. Guys, you like bacon? I love bacon. I need to get that stuff off the tray up there. Let's see what I can do here. Dun, dun, dun. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. Better? Maybe? I don't know. I need to get this stuff off of here. That way when it's time to clear that off. Come on. Get in there. Now the only problem with making these little tiny bacon chips is that, when you're trying to manipulate them with tongs, you got little tiny bacon chips. And it takes a while. Granted, I could grab them with my fingers, but I don't really want to get the bacon grease all over my fingers. Oh, that's a good one there. That was a nice crispy one. I like the crispy ones. I don't like them burnt, but I like them crispy. Now, my wife and kids, they like them a little bit more fatty. So I try to make them a little bit both if I can. And then, of course, you got to pay the tax. Okay. Yep. That's good. All right. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, this skillet, I got to kind of move them around a little bit. Because the ones on the outer edges, they don't cook near as fast. Which is fine. It just gives you something to do when you're cooking all this bacon. But yeah, this bacon's really good. It's not like overly seasoned. I think a lot of the peppered bacon is highly overrated because it's just on the outside. It's not like it's incorporated into the bacon. You get more of the salt flavor than anything when you get bacon. We're going to let that chill out for a little while or cook a little longer. It's almost done. Yeah, right on. All right, what do we got going on there? Amber says, Donna, yes, sugars too. I was sugar addict for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I was a super sugar addict for a long time. I mean, I was upset, you know, going to places and they'd be like, they didn't have the right kind of donuts, because I used to love cream filled donuts. And, oh, that's that crunchy one I was just talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm happy with that one. Yum. I'm like a fat kid in a candy store when it comes to eating bacon. Yep. That's good stuff. I know I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm doing a great job. But I think since this recent plateau that's been going on and on and on, I think I need to exercise more. So I know I got my weight loss journey started with little to no exercise. So I lost approximately 130 something pounds with little to no exercise. But I think it's time to start shifting gears, you know, especially with the warmer months coming up. Actually get out and walk more. I was so surprised how long I walked the other day. When I got out and I walked around, you know, we started small. We just walked around the neighborhood. We came home, and then I decided to go for a little bit longer walk. That wasn't too bad. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for a really long walk. I'm actually going to go for a walk out of the neighborhood. We're going to go up a hill. It's going to take me down a hill. It's going to take me way down that way, and then I'll figure out which way I'm coming back. And that was a long walk. I can't remember how far it was. 2.5, maybe 3 miles. So since I consider it 3 miles, it was probably closer to 2 miles, because that's how men measure things. We like to add that extra little bit. So yeah, we'll just call it a 2 mile walk. But even a 2 mile walk at 300 pounds, my feet don't hurt anymore. And that was part of it. That's the only reason I kept going. I said, I'm just going to walk until I start hurting, and then I'll start heading home. And hopefully I won't feel crippled by the time I walk in the door. Now, when I started the weight loss journey, I was on the bandwagon of eat less, move more. So I was like, and then all I heard was that one guy, it's on the internet, he's always like, just go for walks, just walk. That's what I wish I knew when I first started losing weight. That guy's nuts. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He does, but he doesn't. Because when he was at his heaviest, if he started walking as much as he's promoting morbidly obese people to walk, he would have injured himself, and he would have been going back and forth. We would have injured ourselves, because that's what happened to me exactly. As I wound up losing weight, I went for walks and I was pushing it, and I wasn't like running. I was just walking like a normal person, and I wound up injuring my feet. So that slowed me down. That put me in a deeper, darker depression. That made everything. My anxiety was flaring up. I was upset. I was already embarrassed about being the fat man walking in the neighborhood by himself. So there was a lot going on there upstairs. You know, this is stuff we have to process and figure out in order to lose more weight. But the thing is, when you first start losing weight from a morbidly obese aspect, you gotta go gently, no matter what you're doing, because with normal weight loss comes more movement anyways. You're going to be able to bend down, tie your shoes without turning blue. You're going to be able to stand there and do the dishes for however long it takes to do the dishes. Because before, I couldn't stand at the sink for that entire time, do all the dishes that might have been in my kitchen sink. I'd do a few dishes, I'd come back here and I'd sit down, play on my phone. Then I get back up after my back started hurting sitting down, you know, because when you're morbidly obese, it hurts to do anything. You know, it hurts to breathe air at times. So I'd be back and forth in between little tiny tasks. But once you lose the majority of the weight, all of that pain starts going away. And it's something to look forward to. You need weight loss. Absolutely, Vinicia. That's the whole point of this. If you're following along, follow along. Aw, they could have stayed. I'm okay with those people. That's just me. I don't mind people that say weird stuff like that. They don't bother me at all. I mean, if they're like horribly inappropriate, yeah, you know. But yeah, I do need to lose weight. I mean, the one funny thing is it's hard to insult the fat man by calling him fat, because we already know we're fat. I mean, it's just part of being fat. It's not a big deal. I accepted it a long time ago. I mean, it's not fun to be belittled, you know, because you're fat, and it's not fun to, you know, have limited abilities to do things or being made fun of because, you know, I don't know. When I couldn't tie my own shoes, it was kind of a belittling thing, but it was also something I had to laugh at because I did it to myself. And I had to figure out, you know, in my own brain how to deal with it, because it was me doing this stupid nonsense to myself. And, you know, I'm almost 50 years old. So we're Gen X's, and I say that from time to time, but we are the most sarcastic generation that I've ever known. You know, at least since I've been alive, because everything is a freaking joke. I don't care. You know, my dog dies. I'll find a way to make it funny because I'm upset. That's how we deal with our pain. That's how we deal with our anger. That's how we deal with a lot of things. You know, if we were ever to go, you know, into war or something, you know, the ones that'd be joking around are guys like me. We'd be joking about all kinds of stuff because, yeah, it's just whatever. You know, we might get killed in the next 30 seconds. You might as well go out laughing, right? We're going to get some more on here. Oh, Roy Betty, thank you. Oh, that's a cool little thing. I didn't even know you guys could do that. I like that. It says KO. You can if you want. I'm not out here begging for subscribers. What I am out here doing is just trying to help people the best I can. You know, talk about my own experience with weight loss. And we're cooking bacon. That's another thing we're doing today. And I lose weight, and I have regained a lot of my health just with the carnivore diet. And I feel it's worth sharing. I've also lost a lot of weight with fasting. I've done many different types of fasting practices, from 5-day water fast, 24-hour fasting, OMAD type fasting. Oh, this bacon is turning into bacon bits. But I think it's really important to learn how to fast. You know, how to get your mind prepared for a fast, because if you don't know how to fast, you're just starving yourself. And it's important to not just starve yourself. You need to have a start time and end time, and realistic expectations on what you're trying to accomplish when doing a fast, because not all fasts are about weight loss. You know, sometimes we're trying to reset our gut health, and sometimes we're trying to lose weight. Other times we're trying to figure out stuff like water retention, figure out our edema. Fasting helps with all of that, you know, and then you might get some weight loss in return, which is super helpful. But if you don't have the thought process in order, fasting isn't going to work, most likely like you intend it to. So and then that's when it becomes starving. That's when it becomes unhealthy. So having a start date is important, because it's important for the mind to know what to expect on a certain day. Like, hey, we're going to start fasting tomorrow for the next 24 hours. You know, not every aspect of your body knows exactly what's going on, but your brain is setting itself up, you know, for a couple days or a day or 24 hours without food. So you're mentally prepared, and as long as you're mentally prepared, it's a whole lot easier to have a fast workout in your benefit. Let's see which one of these little bitty bites can I grab this time. So like I said, every time I make bacon, I usually wind up having less bacon than when I started. Oh man, that was a winner there. Yeah, yum. That's what we got left. Right on. But hey, I do appreciate the super chat. You know, I do appreciate new subscribers, but what I appreciate more than new subscribers is subscribers that come back, that want to interact, that want to talk back and forth, want to have a conversation. I read pages and pages of comments every week, and I like them all. Some are good, some are bad, some make me cry. I mean, I've had people reach out, you know, and tell me their real life situation. You know, they might have type 2 diabetes. They might have just lost a foot because of diabetes, and they just want help. Those hit me hard. They hit me in the feelers. I don't, you know, that's when I ask my wife to give me a hug. You know, hey, this person needs help. I need to try to figure out how to help them the best I can. And sometimes I don't have a great answer. You know, depending on what their question is, I don't have all the answers. I can only explain my weight loss from my experience. I have diverted a few people that have talked about doing specific things, you know, that I might have tried. But when they started explaining their situation, you know, I pumped the brakes, man. Hold on. If you got, you know, this, or this going on, you might want to reconsider. You know, you might really want to talk to your doctor. You might want to talk to your health physician, whoever you're dealing with, as far as your health aspects of your life. So yeah, absolutely. You know, if you're healthy enough to do certain things, then okay, if you know that, try it. If you don't like it, try something else. The key is to keep trying things. Because when I first started doing fasting, I thought, oh, I could do this forever because I had such great momentum, built up. I lost 20 pounds, and then all of a sudden, no, 30 pounds, and then I lost 14 pounds, then I was losing 7 pounds, then another 14 pounds. One week I had a stall, and it was just like, but it was still positive. I wasn't going the other way. So I was like, holy crap, I could do this forever. And then the doctor talked to me about it, and he's like, do you think this is sustainable? That's when I woke up. I'm like, whoa, okay. No, I didn't think it was sustainable. So I had to work on finding a sustainable type lifestyle. That's what brought me down the road to keto. Now, keto was really confusing. There's a lot of keto options out there. Keto bread, you guys, if you're just reading the label on the keto bread and you understand what ingredients do what to you, the majority of keto bread that is out there, not all of them, because some of them are keto friendly, but the majority of them are not keto friendly whatsoever. So that was slowing me down. That was creating a lot of digestive issues for me as well, because it was adding in a lot of unnecessary sugar through the potatoes and potato starch and stuff like that were added into keto-safe keto bread. I didn't like that, so I started looking into other keto options. Same thing. I was bumping into similar walls. It was causing similar problems. And I was like, there's got to be something better than this. Now, there are keto-safe foods, like an avocado, for instance. That's a keto-safe food. That worked out really well. It doesn't bump you out of ketosis. Dill pickles with no sugar, those are keto-safe. 0 calorie, too. So that was working for me for a period of time. That was one of my go-tos, hard-boiled eggs. Again, food, keto-safe. That worked as well. Sardines, another one, kept me in ketosis, and it was also food. So when you can eat and your body stays in ketosis, you continue to, use and burn ketones at that point, and you start to actually burn your own body fat. And that's where everything starts really working. And if you're already doing fasting and you've practiced fasting, you can learn how to lose weight while you're sleeping. That was another one of my selling points. When I first started all this fasting, it was like, man, I'm learning how to lose weight in my sleep. And I was actually applying these practices throughout the day. And I was losing pounds upon pounds every single night. They were visually, shown to me on the scale the next morning, how much weight I was, 2 to 3 pounds a night, throughout a week. And then all of a sudden at the end of the week, I got a 14-pound weight loss. And I'm just like, wow, I could actually see that happening throughout the week. Now, granted, it's not always this way. You got to do it in a very specific way in order to make it possible, but it is possible. Lisa Blessed Life, Carnivore Scott. When I did that, my quality was really bad. I haven't tried it again to see if it was just a fluke or not. I'm not sure what you guys are having a conversation in. Hey there, Isra. Isra says hello. I want to say hello. I'm Big John from Anchorage, Alaska. I talk a lot about carnivore topics, losing weight, keto type topics, or I'm not exclusive to just carnivore topics, but that's mainly what I cover, and my own personal weight loss through my experience. Carnivore Scott. So today I did one of these vertical lives and had my phone right in front of my monitor. As I mentioned to Todd last night, it helps to read the comments. I had a YouTube channel up at the same time. Yes, that is a great option, and it's also an option for people that are doing live streams. You can have somebody moderate on the side with a cell phone, or vice versa. They could be running the live off of their cell phone and talking back and forth through the same mic. That also works out really well. I do a lot of cooking in the kitchen, so my laptop's staying in that room over there because I got water all the time. I got animals and randomness going on here. I'm pretty happy with the setup we got going on now, considering what it could be. I cannot afford a mechanical failure right at this moment. That would be devastating for me. If my computer should just up and stop running, I would be heartbroken. I wouldn't know what to do. I would be stuck using my cell phone. So I'm glad that I learned how to do this stuff with the cell phone. And Carnivore Scott's the one that, helped me out. He got me into doing live streams in the first place. He was the one that popped my live stream virginity and got me out here doing live streams, or even trying to figure it out, because I am not a tech wizard by any means. So it took a lot of struggles trying to figure out the settings and how to do it all, let alone to figure out how to be somewhat entertaining and educational while I do that. And that's one thing I do try to strive for, is I try to keep the
live streams or videos or whatever I do, I try to keep it informational. I try to keep it busy to hopefully not bore the crap out of people, because sometimes I do talk about topics that go way off in left field. You know, like right now I should be talking about carnivore topics, and we're talking about me doing live streams. But it is part of who I am and what I do here. I do a lot of live streams. I don't really care much for short videos because they warp my mind. I don't understand them. I don't know why some people can make short videos that are just amazing and other people can't. I spend hours upon hours making a video that's 60-second long video, and I get like 53 views, and that tells me I'm doing something wrong. There's something about it I don't understand. So it's just frustrating, you know, when you're trying to create stuff and you're like, and I get it, you know, the more you create, the more people will find you. So I need to get working on short videos, even if they're lousy, because they do bring in, you know, people that are interested in losing weight, people that are interested in carnivore, people that are interested in being more involved in the community. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that want to be involved. You know, people that might want to share some of their experience or talk about some of their issues, or maybe ask a question here or there and see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, I'm still cooking. I'm always cooking. You know, that's typically why I start these streams anyways. I'm sitting in the kitchen anyways. I got a lot to talk about, as you've probably heard by now. So I just talk a lot. I cook random nonsense. I just have fun in the kitchen, and I like to interact with the community that way. Let's see, what's taking so long? It's bacon. Bacon takes a little while. It takes some consideration too. This is why I got my oversized Carhartts on from when I was morbidly obese. You could fit 2 of me in here now. That's awesome. There's so much room in here. I could probably fit my wife in here with me. That would be a crazy photo. And I'm pretty sure if we did that, it'd be hard to get us separated. So I don't think I'm going to go that route. But it would be fun. Let's see. Well, it was 48 ounces to be precise. It was 48 ounces to be precise. Yeah, we're still getting that cooked up. My friend, use your cats in the videos. Guaranteed to have a bump in subscribers. Internet was created for cats, apparently. That hurts my brain. Carnivore Scott's got a question. Have you cooked the bacon like Dr. Barry does? Yes, I talked about that early on, that I used a pot, and it wrecks the pot. I've done it in a few different pots, and I've ruined them all. So we use this little skillet over here, and it works fantastic. I don't have any problems doing it this way. I don't have a mess all over the place. That's the one thing I love about it. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is it heats up right here in the middle first. But you see, I got that camera like right up there. It's not getting any bacon splatter whatsoever. There's really no bacon splatter on anything else in the room. I don't have any bacon splatter there. I don't have any bacon splatter landed on my Insta360. I mean, it's really contained to like right here. I mean, I don't have it up here. You know, this just works. This thing's turned up all the way, by the way. So I got this thing, the heat is cranked. So it takes a little while. It's kind of a disadvantage. But hey, let's see, Northern Stitcher, right on. Hey, thanks for joining in there. Northern Stitcher, doing good, just cleaning the kitchen while listening. Oh, right on. Thank you for dropping by and listening. Hopefully I'm not boring the death out of you, but you know, because I can talk for a really long time. You know, I took a lot of notes from Scott. You know, when he was talking, I just try to take it to the next level. That's not an insult. I just try to take everything to the next level. I try to push myself a little bit. You know, every time I get out here, I try to become a little bit wittier each time. I try to learn how to stay on topic, which is extremely hard to do, by the way. You know, when you're doing this stuff and you're doing lives, you're cooking bacon, you're burning yourself. You're just trying to keep people somewhat entertained so you can get all the bacon flipped over and get this completely cooked. But yeah, it's a good time. Bacon. You guys aren't making the mess in your house, so it should be more fun to watch me do it than you do it. But it's not making a mess. And yes, I have done this in my underwear, and I never did receive an injury. So this is definitely my favorite way of cooking bacon now, from all the other ways that I've tried. I can't really complain.
Okay, so probably start getting this put away because that's going to be coming out next. So yeah, we're just making little bacon chips. This is just a fun little snack I can take with me tonight when I go out hauling snow. And at some point I will have to go lay back down for a little while. I'm going to save that piece right there. That's my favorite piece. Because every time you start moving bacon around, you come up with all these weird little favorite pieces that you don't want to put away. And that's just part of the fun of making bacon, because you see these things, you can identify them. Oh, here's another one. We can talk about why. We can talk about why that's my favorite piece in just a little bit. Not only is it visually stimulating, it just looks like it's made just for me. That's the fun part. All right. So this bacon's going to be almost done here real soon. Get you over there. Some of this bacon is done. We're going to take you out now. The little tiny pieces. I don't want those turning into little shrivels. Little shrivels of bacon that's cooked a little too much. Okay. Yeah, some of this bacon was ready. Because now we get further along into the bacon, and so it starts cooking up at different times. Especially the small pieces, they start cooking up a little faster. So yeah, going over there to the table to turn around and have a longer conversation might not be so great right now. I'd wind up ruining most of this. Okay, these are done too. And I try not to overcook them all because the family likes their bacon a little bit fattier. I like it super crispy. Oh no, I almost lost those two pieces. Here we go. I found them. We're gonna let those cook down. Then we're gonna wander on over here, like we always do. Look outside for a second. There we go. Ah! Whoa! Look at this. Okay, like I said, this bacon. We're talking bacon today. So for me, this is perfect. This is what I'm looking for. Does this help? I see people online do this all. Does this help? I don't know. But that is a perfect piece of bacon to me. Yum. It's crispy. Kind of melts in my mouth. There's enough meat texture there to give a nice chew. Ah, at least it took off. All right, we'll see you later. Super glad you guys jumped in there. Scott jumped off too. I appreciate Scott for jumping in. And we do that. We jump into each other's live streams all the time. Okay. But, holy cow. We're 2 hours into this live stream already. I didn't even realize that. That 38 people in the stream. I appreciate you guys. I don't, like I said, I don't ask people to subscribe, but if you could smash the like button, all you got to do is go up here into the top corner. There's 3 little buttons. You click on those 3 little buttons, and it should drop down a menu to give an option to like the stream if you choose. If you want to subscribe, by all means subscribe, but I appreciate the active subscribers more than just having random numbers in the vault, because, you know, it's nice seeing those numbers go up. It's really depressing when you see those numbers go down, but if the numbers go down, it's usually something I did or somebody else, you know, found something else that was more interesting or more relevant for them. And I just have to realize that, because it's not a competition out here, guys. The only person I'm competing with is myself. And that's where I starting to grow on YouTube. So as soon as I realized that, as I'm not competing with other channels, I'm competing with myself. If I can't produce anything that's entertaining or valuable to some aspect of somebody, you know, I don't expect to get views. I don't expect anybody to hang out for a little while, listen to me go on and on, sit here and watch me eat bacon, you know, because you never know what I'm going to do. That's half of the fun. You don't know what I'm going to say. I talk about my weight loss from my experience. I talk about how carnivore is working for me throughout my experience. And that's just kind of how things go. And I just try to be real. I don't try to bullcrap anybody, you know, and tell them, you know, hey, I'm doing this and I'm actually turning around a corner and I'm doing something else, because that's not helpful for anybody. That's not helpful for anybody trying to lose weight or even figure out carnivore, because if we're not honest about what we're doing, it's really hard to understand what's actually happening. Because when I was attempting carnivore in the beginning, I needed the most honest situations from other people to understand what was going on with myself, because I was experiencing a lot of changes. Some of them scared me. yeah, I had a lot of moments where I had to reach out to other carnivores, other channels to try to figure out my own situation, what was going on. Okay, I'll eat it. There, it's gone. See what else we got. Allison Kane. Anyone that likes bacon this much is okay with me. Well, I appreciate that, Allison. It is Allison, right? I don't have my glasses on. Yes, Allison, thank you. I need to get over here and mess with that. Well, I'm almost done with that. I don't think I'm going to run this stream for too much longer, guys, because unless you guys really like, I thought the camera was flipped around and I was showing you what I was doing. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person. I need it. There you go. Haha. Yeah, I was just flipping over to bacon. But yeah, super fun, by the way. You don't have to cook bacon in your own house. You don't even have to experience the mess. And it's really not a bad mess when I'm done. So when I'm done with this, I just take a regular cereal bowl and I'll line it with some tin foil, and I'll carefully, mold it to the bowl, and I won't puncture the tin foil. If you puncture the tin foil, it kind of ruins it. But then I'll just take the hot bacon grease, not scalding hot, but warmer. I'll put it in that bowl with the tin foil, and then it's Alaska, so I'll set it outside. That way I can just let it sit out there, and it'll cool off. Get you guys over here. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Where are we? There we go. Not too bad. But yeah, that way it can cool off. And then once it's thoroughly cooled off, it's all in one solid piece. So I just, pinch the tin foil like a little wonton. And then I can throw it away in the garbage in one solid chunk. Super easy that way. My daughter's smart. She closed the door to the bedroom over here. She's in there watching TV or playing Minecraft. But she knows I'm cooking bacon, so the chances of me setting the fire alarm off are pretty high. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Bacon is so much fun. When I was in, getting out of high school, learning how to be an adult, and I thought it was a great idea to just cook bacon in a pan on the stove. Boy, I wish I knew a thing or two about cooking bacon when I was that age, because I was like almost catching the house on fire, almost injuring myself. I don't know how many times. It was a pretty scary time of my life. Because there is a little technique, in making bacon. And then there's the whole, what do you do if this does catch on fire? Because when we were young, we didn't know nothing. We'd throw water at it and then wind up catching the entire house on fire. Because, when you're young and dumb, that's what you do. You do young and dumb stuff. That's okay. So I got to figure out how to squeeze in this. I don't know why it's not fitting as well this time. So far I've been able to fit all the rows in there pretty good. And this time it's just giving me a headache. There we go. Ow! I figured out how to burn myself. I'm okay with it. Alright, that's done. That's done. Hey, there's a little piece. Go in there. Awesome. Where were we? Yes, we're cooking bacon. What's going on in there? Amber says, thank you to everyone who has joined. Also, thank you for being respectful throughout the live. This has been probably one of the best lives we've done in a while when it comes to spamming and stuff like that. And that's thanks to all the people with the blue names with the wrenches. They've been doing an amazing job at moderating for whenever we get out here and do stuff. Again, my humble thank you. I have no way of repaying you except for saying thank you. And I do appreciate every single one of you. Yeah, bacon. Okay. But yes, my cats appreciate you. My dogs appreciate you. You guys do a lot of work because I see it. I don't try to focus on it too much because it's very distracting when you're trying to figure out what you're saying and not lose your train of thought sometimes, because it's, just imagine that. It's kind of like making a cell phone call
or like a FaceTime call with a relative. And that's how I had to look at it, you know, when I started live streaming. But it's still very intimidating when you look up here, even 24 people. I mean, for anybody to get up in front of 24 people and just talk openly, it's a challenge, let alone cook bacon in Carhartts that are way too big, talk about how fat you were, and then sometimes go through emotions and stuff, sifting through the mess to try to find out, you know, how to better improve my own situation and hopefully help other people improve their situation as well. Roy Batty, I don't ever really have a normal time I go live. Right now we're in between the season of summer and winter. I do haul snow when I'm on call. We had some snow, so I'll be hauling some snow tonight. So work is really slow. Long story short, work is slow. So in my lives would be literally random at best. I tried scheduling a live stream last week. It didn't do that great. I only had one person that actually clicked the waiting button, and I believe that was myself on my monitor. So I have another account that I use to monitor what I'm doing here. Because sometimes when you have another additional account, you can see things that you can't see from your own account when you're previewing. When you're previewing videos and stuff like that, there's some stuff there you might be able to see from a third-party aspect. So it's important to have two different type accounts when running a YouTube channel, or have somebody close by on their own account, you know, be able to monitor it for you. That way they can see what's going on inside. And sometimes things don't process evenly. So you gotta, sometimes I might have to take videos down or something like that for one reason or another, just because something's wrong with it. Let's see. Anything else going on here? Northern Sticker said, yum. Roy Batty, as someone new to pursuing live streams, most are kids playing video games or mindless gender nonsense. I like your content. Well, I appreciate that, Roy. There's always room for people out here. Now, those people that are, a lot of the people that are doing the video game vertical live streams, and that's just this particular format type live stream. A lot of those people, they don't have 1,000 subscribers, and they get stuck in this weird little part of the Rolodex when it comes to those live streams. And I see a lot of them, especially at nighttime, and they might have a lot of views and stuff, but they're not gaining a lot of times they're not gaining the subscriber count or the watch time hours or stuff like that, or they're not monetized because of the way they talk or the stuff that they're showing, because some of their stuff actually goes against some of the guidelines, but not so much not to be shown. It just makes it so their stuff can't be monetized. But they have a lot of fun doing it, so I get that. But yeah, if you're into these type of vertical live streams, it's really not that hard. It's helpful if you're over 1,000 subscribers with 4,000 watch hours, because it will start circulating your stuff a little bit quicker, and you'll pop up as long as you're relevant, have researchable type topics and thumbnails and description sections. It's super important. I mean, I've been trying to share that information with the community as we go, because, you know, as soon as I saw this as an option, YouTube asked me to start messing around with it, see what I could come up with, and just relax and just start doing it. Just hit record. Whatever happens, happens. Let it go for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long, as long as I can pull up enough steam and stay somewhat relevant to a conversation and interact with people, is basically the direction they were pointing me in. And they gave me a bunch of tips for getting started. And a lot of that is be relevant, you know, how to start your video, your live stream out, and focus for the first 15 minutes to half an hour on your topic, whatever that topic may be. So if you're talking carnivore topics, you're talking, you know, like today, I was carnivore Easter eggs. You know, I was putting that in pickle juice. I focused a good portion of that on that, plus the thumbnail, which is all relevant to the Easter eggs going in the pickle juice. So since I got past that first half hour, that can potentially get put up in my streams, and somebody will come back and they will find it relevant for a period of time. Further creating further revenue, possible revenue later, and also being relevant for the first 15 minutes to half an hour. And then after that, it's
whatever you want to talk about after that, like this. So I can focus on you. I can focus on anybody else coming in here asking questions. Sometimes I'm here all by myself and I might have to talk to spammers or something like that and just try to keep it interesting. But the key to doing a good live stream is no different than when you turn on the radio in your car. You don't want dead air. You don't want awkward pauses. I mean, extended awkward pauses like, hey, I'll be back in a minute, and just take off. I mean, you don't, I see a lot of guys do that, and I'm surprised that their streams can contain like 100 and 200 people that are sitting there watching, because a lot of them, I mean, you got the ASMR crowd. They'll sit here. Oh, sorry. I got to hold that closer to the phone so you can hear it. They do weird stuff, and it's just, I showed it to my son last night, and he's just like, I love that sound. I'm like, this is the problem with our universe today. Stuff like that. Because, yeah, there was this girl, she was eating something, and she had the mic up to her phone, and she was going, and that was like the most interesting thing. I was like, are you kidding me? Well, okay, that's just, you know, part of what it is. All right, guys, I see a tremendous dip in people that are in the stream right now. I am over 2 hours and 10 minutes into the stream. I do want to say I appreciate everybody that's jumped in here today. I'm going to be saying bye now. And yeah, I'm going to pray for anybody out there that's suffering from their own problems with depression, anxiety, being morbidly obese, possible addiction, anything. I'm going to be praying for you guys. And I do root for you all. I think it's a big step that if you ever even got out here and started listening to anybody that talks about this stuff, you know, that's just step number one. Step number two is trying to figure out your situation and hopefully how to better your situation. Because I can't hold your hand, but I can give you a little bit of advice. I can give you some tips, and you know, to hopefully help people out. And that's all we're here to do. The entire carnivore community is here to help one another, because we all suffered in some way, and that's why we pulled together so tightly as a community, and we like to share our adventures, and we like to share, you know, how we did it, how we got over, how we overcame things. It's just incredibly hard to do it by yourself. I couldn't have been this far along with the carnivore journey, my weight loss journey, my YouTube journey, without sharing any of it. I mean, I wouldn't be this far along. If it wasn't for YouTube, I'd still be over 435 pounds. Chances are I'd be dead by now, because I was a heart attack, literally just waiting to happen. I mean, you could have called me some crazy nickname like Dial a Heart Attack, and the ring of the phone could have set me off, and I wouldn't be here anymore. But I don't want other people to feel like they have to be that way, because you don't. You know, just start with fasting. You know, take the stepping stairs. You know, walk down slowly. You know, start with learning how to fast. Maybe implement a fast for a little while. You're not going to be good at first. You're gonna stumble. You're gonna make mistakes. We all did. I did. It wasn't perfect. Nothing was perfect. I mean, sometimes we fall off the wagon and we go back and forth. But the point is, we got to get back on the wagon and keep going. And that's where I'm going to leave this live stream for the day. I want to say bye to Donna and all the wonderful moderators that we have here for taking care of the stream as I just yammer on and cook bacon behind me. I hope if any of you were here for the beginning of the live stream where we did the Easter eggs, and basically I was just peeling Easter eggs and putting them in the brine so they could pickle up for later. Have I ever pooped? I always poop. I love pooping. The nice thing about carnivore, by the way, pooping. And everybody here that knows me knows I love to talk about poop. I'll talk about all kinds of different poop situations. But the one nice thing about carnivore, after you get further along into it, the more 100%, is you get to pick when you poop. I couldn't do that when eating vegetables. I'd eat vegetables and it would be like, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go poop right now. When I was eating all the overly processed junk food, yeah, I'd be planning out my day. You know, like, where's the bathrooms going to be? If we're going to the mall, how far is the bathroom going to be away from the store? I mean, that's how bad it was. It was just ridiculous. And then when I overeat stuff like fruits, for instance, my poop turns pale. It turns gray. I'm not absorbing the nutrients, which leads to, you know, screwed up stuff going on in my gut. Like it's reacting with my pancreas, my bile ducts, everything is just off. So they're like, yeah, just avoid the fruits, avoid the vegetables. If that's making gray poop, that's not a good sign. So yeah, absolutely. All right, man, we already covered the poop. I just want to say I pray for you all. I'm going to fumble through these buttons. I do appreciate everybody that's come in and out. And yep, we will definitely be doing this again sometime. But I have to work tonight, so I'm not sure if I'll have my weekly update ready for this weekend. If I can get to it, I will. As always, I try to, just keep it real. So, all right, take care, guys. We'll see you next time around. Uh-oh, I'm horribly irregular. Type 2, 70 pounds overweight. You're giving me positive vibes going into this weekend. Oh, horribly irregular. You mean okay, I got to stop right there. I was getting ready to go. That's important. Horribly irregular. How so, if you could, Roy? With bowel movements or with just diet in general? If you look way back in my history before most castles in the last 400 years, some none of them had bathrooms. Actually, I have been looking into that. I don't know why that popped up in my Facebook feed. I hate Facebook, by the way, but I see all kinds of images where the castles have these little outlier things. No quality bowel yet. Oh, okay. Well, okay, you said you got type 2 going on too. That complicates things that goes into another level of I don't understand everything as far as the type 2 diabetes comes in. But I would definitely look into that. Now my issue was when I was irregular, I was having issues with vegetables. Because sometimes my irregularity was because of too much fiber, because the doctors were telling me, you need to eat more vegetables, you need to eat more fruits. Well, the more vegetables made me constipated. Some of the vegetables triggered sugar responses where I'd get unhealthy food, and the fruits just reinforced my sugar addiction for other unhealthy, overly processed foods, which in turn, created anxiety, depression, and all kinds of other stuff. So I have to stay away from my fruit basket over here, even though I love fruit, and it's not the worst thing. It's better. I'd rather eat a piece of fruit than a piece of cake, but still, it doesn't work for what I'm trying to do, and it throws my blood sugar all off in a whack. There was one time where I tried an apple, and it wound up actually putting me in like a 2-hour coma. It felt like I was asleep. I mean, I was in bed, and I'm screwing up my bacon. But yeah, I would definitely look into I'd start out with doing a food log, seeing, break down that food log, what each thing is, what it does to you, how it makes you feel, why that's a food you were consuming. Now, a food log is horribly important when you're getting started with anything, because it gives you accountability. Because you have to actually physically write down in your food log, whether you type it out or not. Either way, you still have to go and keep track of what's in your food log. When you ate it, why you ate it, how you were feeling is all important, super important. Especially for dealing with, I don't know type situations, like why is my gut feeling this way? I had irregular bowel syndrome because I had such severe anxiety. And it wasn't the fact that I was scared of what people thought of me. I wasn't always scared of like something bad happening, even though I was the Debbie Downer. I wasn't scared of anything bad happening to me. I think I was more scared of bad things happening to people I loved or things around me that created a lot of these anxiety type situations that gave me irregular bowel syndrome. And I'm going to have to cut out here because I almost burnt the heck out of my bacon. But all right, guys. Today we made bacon, and we took Easter eggs and we put them in pickle brine. And this is what I got left. As soon as that's done, I just get to put it all away, take care of the bacon grease. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. And hopefully we'll see you next time we get out here. And I just want to say take care, everybody. Where is it? There it is. Oh,